Hey, Matt Alt here. Today I'm in Nakano Broadway because, of course, I'm in Nakano Broadway. I hang out here all the time. This is one of my favorite places in Tokyo. It's a shopping center that's been here for decades now. The building, this complex, was originally constructed in 1968, and at the time, it was the largest, the tallest building in Asia. It was quickly eclipsed by others, but in 1968, it was the state of the art. It still pretty much looks like 1968 in here, which is one of the things I love about it. Most of the storefronts in here, or a majority of them, are owned by a company called Mandarake that specializes in selling all sorts of used otaku fan items and goods and things like that. Manga, toys, models, records, tapes, anything you can think of, ephemera from decades of Japanese pop culture. If you want it, you can probably find it here. And in recent years, they've been joined by a lot of more fancy sorts of boutiques. There's a lot of strangely high-end watch shops in here, along kind of shoehorned in with all of the geek sort of stores. But I've always loved this place because to me it is like a living museum of all of the stuff that brought me to Japan in the very first place. In fact, the very first episode of Japanology Plus that I ever filmed for NHK World involved me and the then host of the show, then sole host of the show, Peter Barakon, walking around in here and me explaining to him why this place was important to me and why it was so important in the scheme of things, Japanese pop culture and soft power and all of that. It's still here, it's still going strong, but it's kind of interesting because most of these spaces are sublet many times, meaning that it's tough to tell who actually owns a lot of them. The people who are actually renting and doing business in here are often renting them from somebody who's renting themselves. That's what subletting is. And so because of that, it makes it really difficult to tell who's in charge of Nakano Broadway. This is why everything is in kind of a state of disrepair here. It looks like it's the 1970s in here. It feels like it's the 1970s in here because nothing has really been changed since then. Normally in any kind of shopping mall situation, they're constantly upgrading and like they're repainting and stuff. Not here. The linoleum's just like it was laid decades ago. The layouts of the shops are just like they were decades ago. And that actually makes it stand out a lot from typical Japanese consumer architecture, especially in the city. In downtown, there's a constant cycle of renovation and change and new stores coming in and old stores going out. There is churn here too, but it's mainly old places that have been here for a really long time that I've been coming to almost as long as I've been coming to Japan. Anyway, it's Nakano Broadway, Nakano Station on the Chuo Line. Easy to find, easy to enter, not so easy to leave, because you will find all sorts of stuff here that will just blow your mind if you are a fan of Japanese pop culture. That's all for today. Catch you next time.